Hello, Dave and Tim here on day 9 of Whisky Advent as we proceed guessing our way through this Drinks by the Dram Advent calendar. Isla is our special guest today.
Yeah, very special and probably very short-lived. This is Campbell's sister, although completely different colour, so you'd never know. Oh my goodness, she's furry too. Oh dear, we thought Mingus was a problem. But we'll see how she lasts. What a good girl.
Yeah.
No, she's off. So, getting straight into it today.
Yes.
What are we? 9.
Day 9.
Goodness, getting along.
Went fairly well yesterday for day 8. It was whiskey we'd never ever tried before. We at least guessed its provenance, 100%.
That was a good technical pick, I'll give us for that one. It was good, good drills, as you might say.
Day 9 indeed.
Alrighty.
Oh, too warm for the old.
Oh yeah, no, the hat's too much. Let's get it out of that shot.
Oh, yeah. Okay, under the tankard of obfuscation, minor camera glitch there, sorry. But, we are proceeding. Alrighty, let's
Under
get
it
back to
goes.
it.
So, yeah, identical colour from last time. Not an identical aroma.
Oh, wow, that's very different.
What have we got here? This is, I think, of everything we've had, except for that one bourbon, this is pretty different. I think doing another cheeky meta pick from the box, we know there's single grain in here somewhere, and it hasn't shown itself yet. And this, I think we might be starting to orbit it here, but not willing to go all in just yet. But that said, on the nose, very sweet. Quite a lot of things that might be grain on here, but there's a density to it. There's like a...
Yeah, I'm getting some florals, but not a lot of fruit or honey.
Is there a... There's like a real sugary fudginess on it, which is making me think a little bit, going in a bit of a grain direction.
Getting a bit of a sherbety sweetness, but not the fudge.
Alright, straight on the palate. That's the series of sounds I make when I'm sure it's a grain whiskey, is what that translates into.
Yeah, oh, well, there is some big fruit and confectionery.
Yeah, it's
happening
it's
there.
grain, and it's kind of a confusing thing to explain, because when we go, ooh, this is very grainy, we're normally talking about grain in a blend, and then it's quite a neutral, quite a blank, often quite rough, youthful thing. When it's a single grain, it's often matured for quite a long time, and the density is almost completely different. It's really smooth, rich, fudgy, sweet, kind of confected characters. It kind of comes in two different flavours.
I'm racking my recollections to try to recall if this is a single grain we've tried before. We've only had a handful.
I think
I just can't.
I think off camera, when we were discussing this very eventuality of the grain coming up, you had quite a inspired cogitation on the fact that we have tried a quite commonplace grain before in the form of Loch Lomond's, I'm not quite sure what they call it, but it's a single grain, and it's a weird single grain because it's only grain because of the way it's produced. It's 100% malted barley. It's just the fact that it's continuously distilled like a grain kind of classifies it over into the single grain category. So it's one of the most unique, strangest malts in the world, really. But that's kind of Loch Lomond's thing, I suppose.
There are some quirky single grain whiskies, some through the likes of Compass Box, but others put out by, say, there's North British single grain is popular choice.
And I think this strikes me as stronger than 40.
There was I think it was in the Secret Spirits Advent calendar last year, was a bonkers old, maybe like 28, 29-year-old single grain whiskey that was mind-blowing.
And they get even more pickable.
Yeah.
I think they go more pickable the older they get. So I'm good with that one. I'm going to go whatever it's called, Loch Lomond's single grain offering, which is I think 43%, and it has an age statement. I think it's 10 or 12 years old or something, which lines up with that. Have you got anything else?
No, I'm happy if I'm competent in calling this a grain whiskey. If it's not, then hey, it'll be a pleasant surprise. If it is, pleasant surprise to have guessed so.
Right. Oh well, let me see. Do I get a point, or do I get taken away to the firing line?
We have. It is the Dubliner Irish whiskey.
Oh well, partial points at least. The Dubliner. No.
Yeah. 40% ABV. No age statement on the label.
Oh well, so it is grain, and that the barley may have been significantly unmalted.
No, it would have surely told us it's single malt Irish whiskey if it was, in fact. So the fact that it's not on there makes me assume this is grain or blend.
Yeah, well, it'll be blend in that case, because they'd say single pot still if it was, because then you can charge more. Then you've got redbreast quality stuff, and you can charge a premium. So this is more like your Bushmills or Jamesons. I'll say damn sight more interesting than Bushmills or Jamesons.
It is a complex and engaging flavour. Like I assumed single grain because that's where our senses took us early on. So probably not single grain. But it's got a complex character, and I'd be keen to learn more about it and maybe try it properly.
I think I like this a bit more than the Teeling. The Teeling that's a premium offering. This is presumably not.
The Teeling was a single malt.
Yeah. This one tastes a lot more. The Teeling didn't taste very. Well, we didn't think it tasted very Irish. It was pretty dense, pretty malty. I
did have that rum cask finish though, which is going to add layers of intrigue to any whiskey.
This one, once grain whiskey has been eliminated, which sadly it has been, this one tastes a lot more genuinely Irish, I suppose.
Yeah.
Not that I've tried a hell of a lot of them.
I do like this calendar. We have 12 whiskies, but we've had so many new things we've simply never tried before. It started this small selection. It's great. The variety in here.
We're surely on the other side of the Irishes by now. They can't hit us with 3 out of 12, right? That would be cruel, because I feel it's our least reliable. I mean, we almost got an Australian whiskey, and yet we've consistently failed at the Irish ones. Although we're not exactly Irish whiskey experts over here. We've probably tasted maybe 3 on the channel, I think. But anyway, that's a bit sad, but not as crushed as I would have been if that was something hilarious like, oh, this was actually Glenfiddich 12 or something like that. So not happy, but not as sad as I could be. So stick around. We'll be right back tomorrow with day 10, getting to the sharp end of the stick on this one. Alrighty, Sludger.